got a new bit here, because there's obviously some of the people on this session right now that were actually there on the day. So yeah, so we've got people that were actually there, at the conference, and we'd just love to know a little bit more about, your thoughts from this. Teo was there. Hello, Teo. Hope you're well. Teo was there doing a lovely little role for us that we've started doing at the last conference and will continue to do, which is to have this thing called a reporter. It's always great with these sessions to get a practitioner view of, what sessions were about, and rather than just getting my take on it all the time. And Teo, lovely volunteer on the day. You saw quite a lot of sessions. Any takeaways from you, Teo? What did you think? What was some of the sessions that you saw?
I thought to myself, Teo, why is it that this is the first conference you've actually ever gone to? And what have you been doing with your PMO life? That's the first thing that struck me, that all of this good stuff has been going on behind my back, kind of thing. Like everybody said, it was very impressive. The speakers were very impressive. I was very surprised when the lady who was being interviewed by John, when she was described as an introvert, because when you think about entrepreneurs, you think introvert, entrepreneur, and what that did for me in that moment was that it's like you can be different things just because there is a definition of a particular way of thinking or doing things. It doesn't mean you have to fall into it. An entrepreneur can be an introvert, extrovert. You just go ahead and do what you need to do, kind of thing. I think the session that stuck with me most was the benefit realization, the benefit mapping, the enthusiasm from that man. Yeah. It's like he was like, yes, well, this must be exciting, kind of thing. And something that is quite challenging, can be quite mundane sometimes when you don't really have the right people in the room. He just really brought it alive alongside with the lady presenter that was there as well. So that is the one that has really stuck with me, because I see that it's a really challenging aspect of PMO. And another thing that I took away was that because of the nature of the kind of PMOs that I tend to be in, I tend to always be on assignments on a contractual type of situation. So I'm coming in to come and deal with something very specific. And what I've noticed about those kind of PMOs is it's always a case of don't touch that. We're not asking you to do anything about that. You just come and fix this, kind of thing. And then you're saying to them, well, the reason why you are where you are is because all of that is broken in the background. But they generally do not want you to focus on that. They want you to focus on something else. And I find that all the things that we were talking about during that conference, they work beautifully when you've kind of like the PMO is there, it's recognized as longevity, and you have a voice and you have an authority in that organization. That's where it works best the most.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing some more of your insights over the coming week. And we've also got Martin. Martin, you were also one of our reporters. And by the way, if anybody else is interested in this kind of thing, please do get in touch. That's a shout out for you. We're obviously going to be doing the conference in Edinburgh. There's a role there. But we also had Martin Bell. Martin, I think you've joined us now. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Sorry, client calls always tend to schedule themselves at the exact inappropriate time.
Thank you.
That is life. I mean, Lindsay, obviously you and me have had a couple of emails back and forth. I really enjoyed it. It's, again, first PMO conference that I've been to, and the first conference that I've kind of been to in a fairly long time. I think just the entire structure of the day, the vendors that were there were all really interesting. And just each of the individual sessions that I managed to attend were all really impressive. The one that really stuck out for me was, I think, Dom Wilson's operational excellence one. And just having Dom really charismatic, kind of light-hearted, a little bit jokey, that really kind of resonated in terms of how to build out a PMO that's not just kind of stuck in the weeds and kind of building out a lot of the administrative processes, but really building out the relationship side of things and making sure that they're providing huge business value, not just in corners building spreadsheets, but providing real business value across BDO, which is obviously a huge organization. But yeah, and obviously the closing keynote at the end from Matthew was fantastic as well. Really good way to end the day.
Yeah, and can I just put you on the spot, because you shared something really lovely with me yesterday, which I really, really appreciate you doing. The other side to a conference like this is obviously the networking side. Can you just share with people just something that happened for you?
Yeah, sure. So I actually don't think this would have happened had I not kind of been doing the reporter role for the day as well, which I thought was really fun. So while wandering over into the House of the PMO area and doing part of the reporting role, which was around kind of enabling people to use the table and kind of write things down, I got talking to a girl called Beth, really kind of interesting, in a similar area to me in terms of I operate within a professional services PMO, so a little bit different to the internal ones. And having kind of 5, 10 minute, 15-minute conversation with her, one of the things that she said was she's been moved around a lot in terms of who she reports into, and her new manager kind of described PMO as a pet project. And seeing that Beth was kind of a really passionate individual about PMO in general, and kind of having that the person that's actually meant to be there geeing you up and doing that mentoring and coaching, seeing your function as a side project, you could see that she was a little bit downhearted by it. So I reached out to her afterwards and kind of went, look, I've very similar situation to you. I'm obviously a fair few years ahead of you in terms of where you are within your career. And said, look, if you want to catch up, more than happy to have a conversation and just see where things lead. I had a quick call with her yesterday, which was meant to be half an hour and ended up going for an hour and a bit. And no, so actually kind of building out a mentoring relationship from there and giving people an avenue to be able to have those conversations, especially when they're early on in the career and probably not getting the advice that they're getting. So good for my development and good for hers.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what we're trying to do here at House of PMO, and at least give people that opportunity and the space to be able for those things to happen. So thanks very much, Teo and Martin, for sharing. Like I said, anybody else wants to have a crack at it at future conferences, get in touch.